Hi, one of the great things about our Crosspoint family, for me, is the accountability that it provides for me. And so this is a pastor's retraction statement from my message yesterday. I made a small mistake in how I was portraying the biblical concept of love. And someone called me out on it. And so I wanted to do a quick explanation of how love is used in Scripture and how it's not, so that it helps us better understand the message yesterday. So on the board here, we've got a description of the 4 types of loves that are used in the Greek language. Here we have the 4 different Greek words that are used for the word love that we translate in the English. The first one is the one that I made the mistake on yesterday, and I mentioned about eros as one of the Greek words. That's actually a word that is not found in the New Testament. It's a classic Greek word. It's the word that focuses in on the sexual aspect of love, and that's where we get the word sensual from, or erotic. And this word focuses in on me. And it was used widely in classic Greek up until the time of the New Testament, and because of how it was used in the culture around them, this was not chosen to be used in Scripture, even though there is a description in Scripture about sexual love. The next one we have is storge. This is the one I didn't mention yesterday. And storge is a love that's related to family. It's familial. It's those things that we have a commitment to in regards to love. And this one, the focus is on us. Then we have philia or philia. I mentioned that this is where the word Philadelphia comes from, and that's a city of brotherly love. But actually a better translation is this is friends. This is those that we choose to love. And so then this is about us as well. It's about you and me together. And there's some great passages that we can look at for that. The familial love, Romans chapter 12, verse 10. Love one another with brotherly affection. Outdo one another in showing honor. And that's the brotherly love, the familial love. Then we have this philia love, which is for friends, and from 1 Peter chapter 3, verse 8, it says this: finally, all of you, having unity of mind, sympathy, brotherly love, a tender heart, and a humble mind, don't repay evil for evil. And it's the idea of these relationships that we have that are close. And then the last one is agape love. And agape love is most often referred to as God's love or godly love. But it's used in a lot of different contexts. The most important thing to recognize is that this agape love is unconditional. And so while eros is about me, it's selfish love, and storge and phileo are about us together, agape love was actually used about how we love our enemies. And that's what makes it so godly. It's an unconditional love. And in Romans 5:8, we see that we're told by God, but God demonstrates His own love for us in that while we were still enemies of God, Christ died for us. And that's how it all ties together in regard to love in the New Testament. Eros is not mentioned. These other ones are mentioned. But the love that we spoke of yesterday is this agape love. And that's where Jesus looks to us and He says, from John chapter 13, verses 34 and 35, a new commandment I give you, that you love one another as I have loved you. You are to love one another. By this all people will know that you're my disciples, if you love one another. And when we truly express God's love, people move from being strangers to being neighbors to being family as we express His love. Come back next week and we're going to wrap up our series on biblical hospitality.